Hello. I don't usually show my face, but I figure this would be a good opportunity to have a more one-on-one conversation. So today I would like to talk about finding our purpose. And it seems like a lot of us are waking up or are going through different phases in our waking up process. And when I say waking up, when I say, sometimes I'll say waking up, I'll, use the word ascending. We're talking about something very similar, which is just simply the idea that we are remembering who we truly are. We are awakening to who we are, meaning that a lot of us maybe have been told, you're a limited human being. You're here to do this. You're here to do this. You're here to have kids and 2.5, and have like a white picket fence and all that stuff. And a lot of people are not wanting to play that anymore. They're wanting to find a greater purpose. They know there's something inside of them that is waking up and that is rising up and that is asking for something other than what they have given. so so a lot of us are going through different process and different like stages of our waking up, and I don't even know if I want to say that they're stages, because everyone goes through it differently. Everyone goes through it however they're gonna go through it. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. There are some people that follow like similar, like, paths, I guess, where they'll say, oh, this happened first and this happened first. But if you can, you don't have to listen to any of that. You're going to do it the way that you're going to do it. And don't let anyone tell you, oh, you have to do it this way. Or if you're doing it that way, you're doing it wrong. Because it's your journey, it's your path. It's something that you are meant to go through. It's almost like designed for you alone. It's not, has nothing to do with anyone else when you're going through it. Yes, your awakening process can assist many, and it does assist many, but you're going to go through it your own way. So when you're going through this process of awakening, or just remembering who you are, or just wanting to find a greater purpose in your life, maybe you're at a point where you don't know what it is, but something is, there's something there that's like telling you this is not good enough. We need to do something else. There'll be things that'll happen. I had a great friend tell me that, they were having physical symptoms, and that there were things going on that they knew it was like a call of sorts, or they knew something was going on. They knew that they needed to change something. And that happens a lot of the times. People's life will completely come apart so that they can create something new, because maybe the life that they had before was not the life that they were supposed to have, was not the life that their soul, that their spirit, that their being wanted them to have. And your spirit, your soul, all of that, I refer to it as being separate, but as I have said, it's not separate from you. It is what you are. You are not separate from your soul. Your soul's not here and you're over here. It doesn't work that way. And I even say, I'll say soul, because I don't have any other way to describe what we are. We are spirit. We are source, embodied in human bodies. And of course, as I've talked about before, when we come here and we become humans, let's go, when we become humans, we forget who we are, and that's the whole purpose. You forget who you are. You're supposed to forget who you are, because how else are you going to go ahead and be and learn all the stuff that you're learning, and think that you're human and that you're limited and that you have to do this, and it's all here to be of assistance to us. It's all here to serve us. You are here in service to yourself and to all, really. And the universe, life, source, spirit is always looking out for you, is always trying to do what's best for you. A lot of the times, I know that's difficult, and it's difficult to accept, it's difficult to see. A lot of the times it takes years for you to be able to realize why things happen the way that they happened, and for you to actually be grateful to them. And sometimes you never find out, at least not in this lifetime. You may not find out why things happen the way that they do. But finding your purpose is something that is a very personal thing, and there are many ways to go about doing it. The first step, I would say, is you have that hunger in you, that curiosity, that thing, something that tells you that you're much more, and you start feeling uncomfortableness. It's this discomfort, like, and you can't sit in it. The longer you sit in it, the more uncomfortable that it gets, and your soul will speak to you. It'll speak to you through your body. It'll speak to you through your feelings. And as I have been, I've actually had quite a few conversations with people about this, and it's communicating with spirit, communicating with yourself, communicating with animals, communicating with plants. You know, has it's not necessarily the way that we've envisioned it to be. It's not like you have to be a medium and you have to go somewhere and lock yourself up somewhere so that you can so that you can you know, find find this thing, right? The interesting thing is that what you're looking for, and this is something that we hear over and over, is right here. It's inside of us the whole time. And yet we go and we want to go search for it everywhere else. You know, maybe it'll be in the Bible, maybe it'll be in this book, maybe it'll be in this teacher, maybe it'll be in me traveling, maybe it'll be in me becoming rich and famous, you know. And you find that none of those things, they can be like pointers and they can guide you in the right direction, but none of those things are gonna, that's not how you're gonna find, it's not gonna be how you're gonna find it necessarily. It's almost like something that comes to you, and and you just know it. And what I find is a lot of the time that we know our truth, we know what we are here to do, but we are afraid. We're afraid to step into our truth, into our knowing. And I've had that I still have that experience, which is why, you know, you don't see, I don't usually, you know, show myself. Part of it is because this message has nothing to do with me. This message, I mean, it does to a certain extent, but it's nothing to do with me. It's about the message. So some of us have a hard time stepping into our purpose because we're afraid, because we're not sure. You know, how many people have been raised to trust themselves completely, and even been told, hey, you know what, you're gonna know what to do. You already know what to do. You already came with everything that you needed to come with. And you know, not many people were taught that. And even knowing it, sometimes I know it and yet I have a hard time sometimes. So a lot of the times we get in the way, and maybe that in itself almost serves a purpose, because maybe that's like a little hurdle that we need to get through, you know, of being able to trust ourselves and being able to trust what we're here to do. I think a lot of times, like, think about when you were a child, and what were the things that you were passionate about, and what were the things that you wanted to do. Sometimes those things can kind of point you to what your purpose is. And your purpose, by the way, doesn't have to be like one thing. You know, it can be many things. Now, for a lot of us that are here, especially for the star seeds, and you know, if you want to, you know, there's wonders, there's light workers, all of that, right? So for a lot of us, our purpose is one and the same, which is to help uplift and to help awaken humanity. So we start with ourselves. We start with doing the work ourselves, and then that work reverberates all around us, and then we're able to go ahead and help others. So just like we once had a blindfold on, and we were able to take a peek and maybe remove it, or at least partially remove it, now we're able to do the same thing for others. Now we're able to assist others to do the same thing. And maybe what we do is not that we go up to them and we remove the blindfold, because it's up to them to do it. It's not up to us. But maybe we can give them little pointers. And maybe sometimes it's just through being around us that those changes come about. So you do the work yourself, and it's almost like the curiosity and the calling out and the reaching out to try to get that, find that purpose, finds you. And I think that for the majority of us, if we're somewhat tuned in, I believe that we have an idea of what our purpose is. We might not know 100%, but we have an idea of what our purpose may be. A lot of the times it's difficult to come into our purpose because there's things that get in the way. So in my experience, I know that my purpose is bigger than what I'm doing right now. Okay. And yet I have not been ready. I've gone through where I take a few steps forward and then a few steps back. You know, as soon as I'm ready, then I'm able to move forward a little bit more. So I kind of go back and forth. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's completely okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Let me see if I can move this over a little bit so that it can. I was trying to get the flower life, but yeah. So finding that purpose sometimes goes hand in hand with other things that we do. So it could be that our purpose doesn't have to be something that that's our whole thing, meaning that that's our whole life revolves around that. So for example, my purpose is to help uplift humanity, to help heal humanity by starting with myself, right? And then others as much as I can. But I still have a regular job, you know. I still have a regular job. I do my healing on the side. I eventually maybe I won't have a regular job. But even at my regular job, I think, okay, but I can still live my purpose wherever I go. It doesn't matter. It's not like, okay, if I'm a healer, that must mean that I'm meant to be healing and that's all I'm meant to do. It's much more than that, because you can heal people simply through being in their presence. You can heal people through speaking to them. You could say a kind word to them that really touches their heart and really opens them up a little bit to be able to experience and to be able to heal, right? So I have a regular job, but I know that even at my regular job, I can still serve my purpose. And that's in how I interact with people. So let's say you're working at Target, you're working at McDonald's, you know, you could still serve your purpose by how you interact with people, by you just interacting with people, by just you who you are. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is it takes that pressure off of being like, I have to do this and this is what I have to do and I can't go on until I do this. And the idea that I can't be happy or I can't have this or I can't be this until I get here. And it's like, you don't need to get here to be who you are. You know, you don't need to get up high somewhere to live your potential. You know, you don't have to merge with anything. You are already merged with, you know, with yourself, with your higher self, whatever you want to call, you know, what we are. You're already merged with that. You're already one with that. And a lot of the times what we learn on the spiritual path and a lot of other religious teachings, I guess you can say, is that, you know, you're not pure, you're impure, you're dirty, you came from sin, and so now you must fix yourself somehow, and you must make yourself pure again through good deeds, you know. So that's what we're taught. But the truth of the matter is that you are already whole, perfect, beautiful, divine as you are. And yes, there may be changes that you need to make in your life. And those changes aren't necessarily done so that you can get to heaven. Those changes are for you to even just be able to serve your purpose, you know, for you to be able to heal, to awaken, to help others do the same thing, just by you being here, just by you going through your process, you being able to share it, you being able to be an example for those, because, you know, we're all at different stages of our process. So some of us are beginning, some of us are somewhere in the middle. I mean, we're all over the place. And so we can all uh, assist each other by sharing our experiences, of course, when appropriate, uh, by just being ourselves, by being of service to others. And you can do that in infinite ways. You know, you can start by doing that around your home. You know, think about it. If you think, oh, I'm not doing anything great in my life, well, do you have kids? Do you feed them? You know what I mean? Do you go to work and you help out people when you go to work? You know, do you drive people to work? I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. Do you help people get houses? You know, do you help people fix houses? There's so many different things that we do where we help others, and those things can also be part of our greater purpose if we allow them to be. But there's this idea that, like, we're not good enough, we're always striving for more, we're always striving to get here, but, you know, we're right here but we want to get here. And it's like this programming that we've been given, that is time to discard, it's time to get rid of. And the idea that we're not enough, the idea that we need to do more, the idea that we're not perfect, the idea that we're dirty, we can get rid of all those ideas. They're not true. They're not true at all. And I know a lot of us do have to do some work where we have to improve ourselves, and that's fine. But I believe that part of that, finding that purpose, is is accepting where you are and realizing that you are good enough, and realizing that you do have a greater purpose, and that you can live out that purpose. A lot of us feel a calling, feel a stirring in us, that's like, we need to do more, we need to do more. And we feel that something is happening, we feel that something is happening right now, something is shifting, and that we need to do something. We feel like this, like, rush, like we need to do something. I feel it in me. And part of that is just being able to just sit with what are feeling, with whatever we're feeling, and tuning into yourself, asking yourself, what is it? What do I need? What is it that I need to do? What what's going to make me feel full? What can I do to help others? I find that that's always a good way to feel better too, and to just kind of get through what you're going through, is to help others. But asking yourself and realizing that you're always in communication with yourself, and that when you're speaking to yourself, when you're communicating with yourself, a lot of times we think that it's going to be like some voice from heaven, or like, it's going to be where it's going to be something like outside of us that's going to speak to us. And it's not that. It can be that, don't get me wrong. If it can be that, can be some sort of sign that shows up on the outside. And a lot of times there are signs. For example, you overhear conversations that maybe will you hear your question answered. It'll be through synchronicities, coincidences, where you can get the truth, because the universe is all around and it's always speaking to us, and it's in cahoots with us, so it's trying to assist us. So when you put yourself out there and you say, I know that I'm here to do something more. What is my purpose? What can I do? What am I here to do? You put that and you ask yourself that, and you can go in meditation, you can write it out, you can just talk to yourself in your head. Realize that the responses may come, and they may come from other sources, but that the response and the answer that you're looking for is going to come in a time when maybe you're quiet, and realize that it's a voice, but it's inside you, and it's inside your head. It's not. And it's so funny, it's not really inside your head, but it feels like it's coming from inside your head, because it'll be your own voice. It won't necessarily be some deep, voice speaking to you from heaven, It'll be your own voice a lot of times. It's your own voice. It's just a quieter voice, and you can feel it in your body. You can feel it in your body, to see if it's okay. You feel it in your gut. You can feel it in your throat. You can feel it, in your heart, and you can feel if it feels tight. You can feel when it's something that is true, and so you can ask yourself to find that purpose. You can go into meditation to try to find that purpose, and then there's other ways to do it too. Obviously, there's psychedelics, which can help. Particular, suggesting ayahuasca mushrooms to a friend, and I know it's a little bit of a controversial thing. You don't technically need them, because I've done both. I've done a few, and I've had deeper realizations being 100% sober, just being in meditation, or just being on my own, just walking. But they are here to assist us. It's plant medicine for a reason. And when I say plant medicine, I mean natural, right? Plant medicine is here to assist you. We have evolved alongside this plant, and they are a part of us, and we can receive a lot of guidance from them. So that's another way. But ultimately, I feel like it comes down to you as an individual, for you to find your own purpose, and for you to realize that maybe you already know that purpose, and maybe you haven't fully tuned into it. But realize that you can tune into it. You have the wisdom, you have the ability to tune into it, and you have the ability to find out what you're here to do. And if you have any questions and you need any help, feel free to reach out, and feel free to do research. Feel free to to speak to yourself first and foremost. Ask yourself, what am I here to do? What am I really good at here? What helps me to thrive? What lights me up? What is it that lights me up? So for me, it's helping people. It's what lights you up. Maybe creating something for you. Maybe that's what lights you up. Maybe you're a creator. Maybe you're meant to share something with the world. Maybe you're an empath. Maybe you're meant to help people through speaking with them. Maybe you're a healer. Maybe you're a dancer, and you help people through the medium of dancing, of art, of writing. I mean, there's so many things that we have so many gifts that all of us have where we can assist people. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something really small. It can be you feeding your child, you helping a friend, you opening up the door for someone, you doing something nice, you smiling with someone. Like all these little things that you do can be of assistance to others. And I feel like to a certain extent that is the overall greater purpose is to assist ourselves. And then as we assist ourselves, then we are able to assist others to wake up. And so we're right on track. We're right where we're supposed to be. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we are. We're right on track. And keep on going. Do something good for yourself today. Take care. I love you. Have a blessed evening, day, whatever, wherever you are. Okay? Bye-bye.